Geoffrey V called the Handsome, and Plantagenet was the Count of Anjou, Touraine, and Maine by inheritance from 1129 and then Duke of Normandy by conquest from 1144. By his marriage to the Empress Matilda, daughter and heiress of Hugh I of England, Geoffrey had a son, Henry Curtmantle, who succeeded to the English throne and founded the Plantagenet dynasty, to which Geoffrey gave his nickname. Biography. Early life. Geoffrey was the elder son of Ffoulkes V d'Anjou and Aremberga de la Fleche, daughter of Elias I of Maine. He was named after his great-grandfather Geoffrey II, Count of Saint-Inès. Geoffrey received his nickname from the yellow sprig of broom blossom he wore in his hat. King Henry I of England, having heard good reports on Geoffrey's talents and prowess, sent his royal legates to Anjou to negotiate a marriage between Geoffrey and his own daughter, Empress Matilda. Consent was obtained from both parties, and on June 10, 1128 the 15-year-old Geoffrey was knighted in Rouen by King Henry in preparation for the wedding. Marriage. Geoffrey and Matilda's marriage took place in 1128. The marriage was meant to seal a peace between England, Normandy and Anjou. She was 11 years older than Geoffrey, and very proud of her status as Empress Dowager. Their marriage was a stormy one with frequent long separations, but she bore him 3 sons and survived him. Count of Anjou. The year after the marriage, Geoffrey's father left for Jerusalem, leaving Geoffrey behind as Count of Anjou. John of Marmoutia describes Geoffrey as handsome, red-headed, jovial, and a great warrior. However, Ralph of Decito alleges that his charm camouflaged a cold and selfish character. When King Henry I died in 1135, Matilda at once entered Normandy to claim her inheritance. The border district submitted to her, but England chose her cousin Stephen of Blois for its king, and Normandy soon followed suit. The following year, Geoffrey gave Ambriez, Goron, and Châtillon-sur-Comont to Joël de Mayenne, on condition that he help obtain the inheritance of Geoffrey's wife. In 1139 Matilda landed in England with 140 knights, where she was besieged at Arundel Castle by King Stephen. In the anarchy, which ensued, Stephen was captured at Lincoln in February 1141, and imprisoned at Bristol. A legatine council of the English Church held at Winchester in April 1141 declared Stephen deposed and proclaimed Matilda Lady of the English. Stephen was subsequently released from prison and had himself recrowned on the anniversary of his first coronation. During 1142 and 1143, Geoffrey secured all of Normandy west and south of the Seine, and, on January 14, 1144, he crossed the Seine and entered Rouen. He assumed the title of Duke of Normandy in the summer of 1144. In 1144, he founded an Augustin priory at Château-Limitage in Anjou. Geoffrey held the duchy until 1149, when he and Matilda conjointly ceded it to their son, Henry, which cession was formally ratified by King Louis VII of France the following year. Geoffrey also put down 3 baronial rebellions in Anjou, in 1129, 1135, and 1145 1151. He was often at odds with his younger brother, Elias, whom he had imprisoned until 1151. The threat of rebellion slowed his progress in Normandy, and is one reason he could not intervene in England. In 1153, the Treaty of Wallingford allowed Stephen should remain King of England for life and that Henry, the son of Geoffrey and Matilda, should succeed him. Death. Geoffrey died suddenly on September 7, 1151. According to John of Marmoutia, Geoffrey was returning from a royal council when he was stricken with fever. He arrived at Car-Saint-Aude-du-Loir, collapsed on a couch, made bequests of gifts and charities, and died. He was buried at St. Julian's Cathedral in Le Mans, France. Legacy. Children. Geoffrey and Matilda's children were, Henry II of England, Geoffrey, Count of Nantes, died unmarried and was buried in Nantes. William X, Count of Poitou, died unmarried. Geoffrey also had illegitimate children by an unknown mistress, Hamelin M., who married Dafydd ab Owain Gwynedd, Prince of North Wales. And Mary, who became a nun and abbess of Shaftesbury and who may be the poetess Marie de France. Adelaide of Angers is sometimes sourced as being the mother of Hamelin. Earliest heraldry? It has long been thought that the earliest documented instance of heraldry was that in a report by Jean de Marmontier, a late 12th century chronicler, that in 1128 Henry of England knighted his son-in-law Geoffrey and granted him a badge of gold lions. A gold lion may already have been Henry's own badge, and different lion motifs would later be used by many of his descendants. An enamel effigy created at the direction of his widow shows Geoffrey with a shield with gold lions on a blue background. Thus, this may be evidence of one of the first authentic representations of a coat of arms and, according to British historian Jim Bradbury, suggests possible evidence for the early use of what became the English royal arms. Bradbury also concedes, however, that this is often discredited as written later. According to French medievalist Michel Pastoureau, for a long time heraldists believed that the earliest documented arms were those of Geoffrey Plantagenet. Unfortunately, the text was written after the death of Geoffrey and the funerary plaque was created around 1155 60, at the request of his Adobe. So Geoffrey Plantagenet probably never bore arms. Pastoureau adds that moreover, it has yet to be established which are the oldest extant arms, although that is a rather futile exercise. Fictional Portrayals. Geoffrey was portrayed by actor Bruce Purchase in the 1978 BBC TV series The Devil's Crown, which dramatised the reigns of his son and grandsons in England. Geoffrey is an important character in Sharon Penman's novel When Christ and His Saints Slept, which deals with the war between his wife and King Stephen. The novel dramatises their stormy marriage and Geoffrey's invasion of Normandy on his wife's behalf. Ancestors. References. External links: Geoffrey V, Count of Anjou at Find a Grave.